if you are not driving your company from belief, if you're not driving your company from that place in your heart that like sings and like wants you to do things, then you are not going to do well in business, period. You are going to want to quit way more times than you're going to want to keep going. Way more times.
Whether it's this or anything, I don't care what it is.
No,
if you're selling computer parts, if you don't have a passion to do it, then don't do it.
So if you are watching this or listening to this right now and you have started a business, I don't care if it's cleaning or if it's, something else. If you're not 100% in, then you should get out.
This episode is sponsored by OrangeQC.
What if I told you starting a business isn't about having all the answers? It's about surviving when nothing's going right. Starting a business isn't what they tell you in the videos or the courses. It's not just ideas and ambition. It's uncertainty, rejection, and the kind of exhaustion that keeps you up at night. No clients, endless setbacks, nights you can't sleep wondering if it's even worth it. We've been there. We started our cleaning business from scratch, scraping by, doubting ourselves at every turn, and somehow we made it. From barely surviving to franchising a thriving business. In this episode, we're sharing the raw, unfiltered lessons, the mistakes, the breakthroughs, and the truth about what it really takes to build something that lasts. Stick around because the struggle isn't the end, just the beginning. First off, I would say we haven't made it.
Yeah, that's my first thing when I saw that too. I was like, I always feel like we're just starting.
Well, it's one of the things that I've learned over the years, whether it was with our first account or if it was, with the last one we had, it doesn't matter, is to maintain a beginner's mindset, right? It's just be like, yeah, next up, because, there's a lot that goes on. And if I was reflecting on this over the weekend because I went golfing last week and I haven't golfed in a long time.
You didn't invite me?
Well, it was a tournament thing that I was invited to.
CBU?
Yeah.
CBU?
Lance up. But it was, I was like, man, I spent like almost a year or two, just going to the golf course, whether it be after work or, maybe an early day or whatever. And I'm like, oh, I'm living the life. There is no time to take off. Like if you're serious about it, then you've got to work your butt off all the time. And there is a lot that goes into running a business day to day. I mean, the struggle of first starting out, like when we first got going, it was really out of survival. I mean, we needed the money. If you guys haven't watched the documentary that we made,
it's on YouTube.
I would encourage you to do that. I mean, I'll rehash a little bit of it, but we started off because we needed to keep a roof over our heads. And
we didn't even know it at that point. I don't think we started off because we did what our parents told us to do. Let's go work.
And the challenge then was real. I mean, it was the difference between having a place to live, having food on the table or not. And what I think is the perspective that we all should have in our businesses is that when you get to a point where you have a roof over your head, you have food on the table, and you think you have made it, is to reinvent a new game, because it's not about the money for us. It's about the opportunity to make a difference in this industry, to create professionalism, with other business owners, to transform the way that people look at what we do here, in this industry, period. So there's a lot of things that come with growing a business. The pain in the butt of dealing with how you hire your first employee, right? Hiring the wrong people, hiring friends and family.
Yeah.
And what that can turn into. We can tell you so many stories about that.
And not knowing any of the things that we don't know. Like, oh, we got this. You don't know anything about taxes. You don't know anything about anything.
Look, and you would think, I mean, if you're watching this, you're listening to this, you're like, man, these guys know everything about everything. Absolutely not. We just walked out of this room after filming another podcast and we've got something going on. And I'm like, well, we could address it this way. We could address it this way. We could do this. We could do that. It's just an area that we don't know what we don't know, and being uncomfortable should be the norm in growing a business. And if you're not able to do that, then you shouldn't be in business for yourself.
Yeah.
Running a cleaning business means juggling a lot. Inspections, specialty services, keeping every site on point. That's why we use OrangeQC. It's a quality control platform that lets us track jobs, document results with photos, log chemical usage, and even send real-time reports, all from our phone. Want to see for yourself? Hit the link in the description for a 30-day free trial of OrangeQC. Thanks to OrangeQC for sponsoring this episode and for building a tool that actually works.
Every once in a while, people will ask, what's the dream? What do you guys want to do? I can give some real big picture. You want to get big picture?
It's big picture.
So, brings me back to a moment when, actually 2 different moments. The first one was, we were at a cleaning contract, and my dad and I were over at Machinery. And one of their C-level people, you've heard this story, I'm sure, came up to Dad and said, why are you guys doing this kind of work? You seem way too smart to be doing this. Way too savvy. You could do any kind of business. Why this? And I was a teenager at the time.
Yeah,
I was bold, but I wasn't an idiot. And plus, we needed the money at the time, so I wasn't gonna be like, "Let me tell you something."
Now, maybe
now, but it stuck with me, and I can still feel that moment, right? And I was like, "I'll show you," right? Like there was this thing in me that inspired me to be like, "We're gonna make a difference in this industry, and I'm gonna show you how we're gonna do it," because I wanted it that bad. Another, moment for me was, personally, was when my mother-in-law at the time was not, said to me, "Matt, you're way too smart to be cleaning buildings." I think that was the moment that I realized, and that was after the other incident, the other moment. That was the moment I realized that we've really got to do something with this. Right. And so when I look at what opportunities we have with Octoclean, the dream, some of them we've been fortunate enough to see already come true. I mean, one was, the ability to see mom and dad be able to, retire and live the life that they love and to do the things that they want. And that's always was a dream for me. But the next step is that this industry needs transformation. And to do that on a national level, and to do that with true partnerships. I mean, my goal is that we're doing that with people who believe that there's an opportunity.
Like a lot of our media people on our media channel.
A lot of people who are on Octoclean Media that are doing really great work. You don't know it, but my goal is that we're partnering with you and we're transforming every market that you're in. That's what I want.
Because we get that a lot. We go to like ISSA, like, why are you telling these people this stuff? Don't tell them. And it's like, well, why not?
Because we can't do it ourselves, right? I mean, there's only one thing in life that we get to do. You know what that is? Only one thing we get to do. Do you know what it is, Jordan? Die. Right? That's the only thing we have to do. Right? I only use that term. The only thing we have to do is die. So what we get to do is work with people that are on media, work with people who are subscribers, work with other janitorial companies, not treat them as enemies, but treat them as a solution, right? Unless you're a problem, and then you need to go. But
and Matt defines that.
Absolutely. I mean, and it's there's a dream, and if you are not driving your company from belief, if you're not driving your company from that place in your heart that like sings and like wants you to do things, then you are not going to do well in business, period. Because this is some really, really hard stuff to get through. And you're, as Greg said, we were saying in the opening, you are going to want to quit way more times
then you're going to want to keep going.
Going to want to keep going way more times.
And that's why I think this industry gets that stigma. Like, well, I'm just going to hire some nut off the street to go clean this building. And then it's just not right.
Or people coast and they're like, oh, well, no one's going to complain. It's not a big deal, whatever. And then you lose an account and then everyone else is the problem. No, you're the problem.
Yeah.
Like you're the problem. So, what I would say to anyone who is really looking at, no matter what level of business you're at, whether you're small or you're bigger, and
whether it's this or anything, I don't care what it is.
No,
if you're selling computer parts, if you don't have a passion to do it, then don't do it. I mean, how do you know if you have a passion? If you're on vacation and you're like, dude, did you see that mop? That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like I'm on a cruise ship and I'm like 3M came out with a mop, hashtag 3M. And I'm like, that's really cool because that's a problem that our franchisees have had where they're spraying stuff on the floor and they're trying to flat mop and it sucks.
Yeah.
And I'm like, can I check that out? And the guy's looking at me like crazy. Like, what do you mean? You're a passenger. And I'm like mopping the floor for him. I'm just checking it out, man.
Yeah.
And, for us, it wasn't even like people say, well, why did you choose the franchise? Because we could have done employee ran and just have a bunch of employees. But I know for me, it was more of like if mom and dad didn't force us to do this and we were just cleaners, we wouldn't have had the opportunity to do what we're doing right now and had that to give to other people. I see hardworking people out there and I'm like, you'd be a great franchise. Well, I don't know anything about this or I don't know anything about that, but you're a hard worker. You're here every day. Every day I see you, whether it's raining or not. Like there's a guy up by my house that cleans the Starbucks parking lot. Every day I see that dude there. It could be 110 degrees or it could be raining outside and he's still there.
Well, I think that there's I have those two stories. I'm sure you have some too. These were moments in my life that I had choices to leave, to go do other things, to work in other businesses. But I knew this is where I belonged. So like, I'm going to be here. Like, this is what I'm going to do. And I think that the reason that I thought franchising was a great idea, if done right, because that's not an area that we, has gone without struggle, without challenge, was that in order for people to succeed in something that may not be taken very seriously, you have to have belief first, habits next, right? And if you have ever hired, you've hired hundreds of people over the years. And I spend a lot of time on mindset with them, a lot more than I do on cleaning buildings, a lot more, because I want them to understand how important their job is and what part they play in success of that company. And then they can say, hey, I'm proud of cleaning this toilet because cleaning this toilet means that this person can go about their daily life and they can be productive in their business and do things, et cetera. That's a lot harder to do when you're paying somebody just above minimum wage.
Yeah. They're not going to have that. And rightfully so. I mean, if you're a minimum wage, you're in college student, whatever, and you're just going to do that, you probably don't have the same passion. But for us as leaders, we can find out what does motivate them, and that's the hardest part when it's dealing with the people within our business is like, what does motivate you? I get you don't want to be a janitor for the rest of your life. How can I help you not be a janitor for the rest of your life, but do a great job while you're here and bring what you learned here to other places?
It's work ethic, right? I mean, this goes back to persistence and hard work. Those are non-negotiable. If you're not that kind of person, then you're going to have a lot of struggles in life, period. Right. And I quick story personally, I had a conversation with a parent of one of my son's teammates a couple months ago, and they started making excuses for why their son was not in a position that they wanted him to be in. But they were waffling on like how they were going, like how committed they were to the outcome of their son's success. And I'm sitting here, I'm like, you're either 100% in or you're 100% out, because if you are 80% in and 20% out, you're getting in the way of the rest of the people. So if you are watching this or listening to this right now and you have started a business, I don't care if it's cleaning or if it's, something else. If you're not 100% in, then you should get out
Or get there.
or fix that. Yeah. Or fix it.
Yeah.
Attention cleaning business owners. Are you ready to take your business to the next level? Introducing the Octoclean Media Community, your ultimate resource for growth, education, and connection. With our memberships, you gain exclusive access to a library of expert-led training, live group coaching sessions, and even one-on-one consulting with industry leaders. The benefits include community discussions, share your advice, and get answers directly from Matt, Greg, and myself. Coaching, transform your prospecting, bidding, operations, and marketing strategies with group coaching and one-on-one consulting options. 10-day challenges, boost your leads and confidence in less than 2 weeks. Don't miss out on the opportunity to connect with like-minded professionals who understand your journey. Whether you're starting out or scaling up, the Octoclean Media Community is here to guide you every step of the way. Visit octocleanmedia.com to join today and unlock your cleaning business's true potential.
All right. Well, let's not forget, since we're going to do a quick transition, got to get that subscription done on the channel,
The YouTube channel.
on the YouTube channel, and definitely on the Octoclean Media side.
Yeah, just
as
go
well.
check it out. I mean, it's a lot of inspirational stuff if that's what you guys are looking for. But at the same time, it also gives you access to not just us, but to, other people that are dealing with the same issues you guys are with growth or wherever you're at in your company.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely a good thing to be working with your peers. It's the way that because we didn't have that. We had each other. I guess you're all right. You're all right. Well, in this as we're talking about these kind of things, and there's always like these things that kind of run in my head. Some of it from listening to Dad over the years. But do work worthy of recognition, not for it. It's one of my favorite dadisms.
But it doesn't really motivate your employees. So
It
maybe
does
give
not.
them recognition and of the work that they're doing.
But I think when it comes to business, and this is the stuff that, we both have young kids, and, I think my son has been more interested in like stuff about like what I do. And he's like, Dad, you spend a lot of time doing this, and this, like at home, whatever, like getting up early and all that. And I'm like, the thing we have to remember in business, right? It's what we do in the darkness that allows those bright lights to make us shine when we do great things. And so we tend to think like, oh, wow, that you see somebody who is quote unquote successful, that they just have something that I don't have. And it's absolutely true in some ways. It's that, are you working hard enough when no one's looking?
Well, it's someone's told me, it's like, what are you willing to give up to get what you want? And feel like, well, what am I giving up? It's like, well, are you willing to just, give up sitting on the couch and chilling, doing nothing?
Yeah.
What? I'm not asking you to give up your wife, your kids, your car, and all this other stuff.
No.
But what of your time are you willing to give up to get what you want? And so for us, that seems to be like in our industry, it's like, are you willing to give up those 3 hours a night to go check on your crews every night?
Exactly.
When you could be watching, I don't know, some TV show on Netflix. Are you willing to, get up early and go see a customer after you were out all night looking at or cleaning their building? That's really what the differences are, because most people are not willing to do that. They're like, no, I already worked hard enough, because society will tell them, okay, you've worked your 8, go home.
Well, I'll end with this, and then we'll get into the questions. We only have 2 questions today, but
they're from people in our
these are members of Octoclean
so
Media.
They're pretty cool.
So this past week, a guy that I respect quite a bit asked, not me, but someone else, what is life all about? I'll ask you, what do you think? What is life all about?
I mean, for me, it's experience, time spent with your family. But for me, you have to earn that. Like, you have to earn an experience to go wherever across the country, or to different countries, or wherever you want to go. And then the time spent with your family, you can sit and, quality time. Like, when you're not stressed out about, is the electric bill going to get paid?
Yeah. His answer, which I liked a lot, what is life all about is choices.
Well, absolutely. And
right.
That's kind of like,
So if we keep it simple, that's what we're here for. We're here to make, a good choice or a bad choice that creates our future. And so as we're, I think the lesson we've learned in business is that you choose between TV or putting together a process and a policy to create more efficient, systems. Yeah. Choose. I'm not judging either one, but you got to choose, and you get the future that you deserve. All right.
Or don't stop working at like your craft. Like Matt and I had a conversation last week about like window cleaning, and I was like, I'm going to clean my windows at the house this weekend just to see what all this stuff's about. Right.
Yeah.
To see if I still got it. Right. Which I do a lot of cleaning anyway, but this was something it was like, okay, well, yeah, it's still the same as when we always did it.
No, the glass is still the glass.
So it's not like people are like, oh, it's so hard to do this or that. I was like, it's the same.
It is.
But I didn't have to, it was hot too, by the way.
Yeah, well, there you go.
It was hot.
All right. So from one of our Octoclean Media members, Tobin, if you've got business cards you haven't followed up on in a while, or you didn't complete the entire prospecting process, how would you go about contacting those prospects again? This happens all the time, and unfortunately it happens more because you don't have process.
Or you don't have a system.
Or you don't have a system that makes it easy. Right?
Keeps talking to people.
Exactly. So,
which we talked about in a live last week, Tay, which you were on. So you probably
here's my answer to that. The person that you're going to contact, let's say it's been 3 weeks to a month, they don't even know who you are. They don't remember you. They heard your voicemail. They immediately deleted it. They saw your email. They erased it. Yeah, whatever. So just start over again. Like, hey, I was in your area. I dropped off a business card. Just start over. And they're going to be like, oh, okay, well, this person must have stopped by and never got the business card. Just start over. And this time, be persistent, be consistent, get the work done.
Constant contact.
Constant contact, yeah. Go ahead. What's question number 2?
So
Greg?
Andrew asks, any tips on approaching credit unions and local banks or just treating them similarly to office prospects? So Andrew, we answered this on our live last week. I know you were on and asked me this too. A lot of things have changed when it comes to banking in general, where a lot of your larger banks that are like, let's say Bank of America, Citibank, they're going on nationwide contracts, and then they're going to basically these companies that subcontract to janitorial companies. Not a lot of profit there. What I'd recommend, again, Andrew, is to go after like your local credit unions that are in town, because those people technically they usually don't do that, right? They're usually finding a local vendor to kind of service their bank branches. But again, there's not a whole lot of money in bank branches anymore because people don't like to go into the bank.
Yeah,
they're doing online banking. They're only going to go in if they need a cashier's check or the random person doesn't do.
Well, and to give you like a real functional process here is, the credit unions in your area, the local banks in your area. Go onto their websites, find their corporate office, and go directly to their corporate office.
Don't mess around with
and ask
managers.
for someone in facilities or operations, and they will get you what you need to know. If you cannot figure that out, then go to a local branch and ask, who do I talk to about this? And they'll give you a contact.
And if you bank with that branch, you should probably ask that manager that you bank with at that branch. They'll probably hook you up.
Yeah, to refer you. For sure. And that would be an introductory email. That would be the best way to do it. Not just a name and a number, but an introductory email. All right. So if you found this episode helpful, make sure to drop a like and leave a comment and what you would like to see the next time that we're over here doing this. We appreciate your support for this podcast and are excited for the next episode.
So don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and we will see you next time, guys. And take a look at that, Octoclean Media.
Yeah, take a look at that.
Especially if you're a growing company, or it doesn't really matter what size you are, but it's definitely good to work with your community of the same people you're working with.
And don't forget, when we get to 30,000, somebody's going to win a really cool Lego set. All right, guys, we'll see you later.